All right, y'all. This is the Homeroom Smooth Podcast, episode number 181. We're going to cover today Southwest Airlines, the terrible blizzard up north, and other things related to the cold weather.
Let's get it. It's just Lee.
It's your boy D.
I'm Shar, and you are tuning in to Homeroom with Smooth. Class is now in session.
All right, so to get right into it, we're going to start with Southwest. This man eloquently explains why it was so bad, and let's just get into it.
The reason why I say that Southwest is built a little bit differently than other airlines
Mhm.
is because of what we call a point-to-point system versus a hub and spoke system. So if you travel on airlines like Delta, United,
Right.
or even American, typically you are funneled into a much larger city. If you're on Delta, you're likely funneled into the Atlanta area. The reason why
Mhm.
is because that's where all of their operations are based here. So if you're in Oklahoma City, according to the hub and spoke system, and you want to go to Omaha, they'll likely have you go through Atlanta and then fly out to Omaha. Now, with Southwest, it's a little bit different. They work on what we call a point-to-point system. And the reason why they do that is because for them, it's a little bit more profitable. So let's say you want to go to Omaha, but you're out of St. Louis. Instead of having to travel to Atlanta and then having to travel then back to Omaha, with Southwest, what their operations will do is they'll schedule a nonstop flight from St. Louis to Omaha. But the problem with this system is this. Once the airplane gets done in Omaha, it'll likely continue from Omaha on to Oklahoma City,
Right.
and then from Oklahoma City on to Atlanta,
Mhm.
and then from Atlanta back to St. Louis. That's if that airline crew is based in St. Louis. But as
Yeah.
you can see, this has cascading effects, right? Because if your flight that you get on originates in St. Louis and then you go on to Omaha, and
Right.
let's say you're in Oklahoma City waiting on that Omaha flight, if it ends up being canceled, then that also means that the flight from Oklahoma City to Atlanta is canceled. That also means that that flight from Atlanta to St. Louis is also canceled. The other issue that Southwest is going to have to deal with is getting their flight crews in all of these different places so that they can operate their respective airplanes and their air routes. And this is why many experts believe that this is likely going to take days, if not weeks, for Southwest to do this. Now, again, the big question that
Mhm.
everybody's been asking is, why does Southwest do this? It's cheaper for them to do that, to operate from one city to another, as opposed to managing a massive hub like United, American, as well as Delta.
All right, all right, all right. Now, for all the people that have constantly given people a shit, you know what I'm saying, for not flying American, for not flying for not flying Southwest, basically. This is the one time. This is the one time it showed that that's why Southwest is Southwest. That's why they're able to do the things that they do, because they cut corners. They cut corners, and it finally caught up with them with this storm. And as he was showing you, all it takes is one. All it takes is one. Because what's crazy is a flight got canceled on the East Coast. I have a good example of this. Gets canceled on the East Coast. I went and picked up somebody, and because their flight from the West Coast to the East Coast got canceled because the plane on the East Coast didn't make it there. I said, huh? That don't even make sense. Then they're like, because the thing is, they don't have any pilots over here in California. They had no pilots. They didn't have enough pilots in California. So to do a basic flight from what was it, John Wayne to Sacramento, they couldn't even do it. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do anything even in state because they didn't have a crew. There were a bunch of people there. There were no pilots, bunch of planes, no pilots. No pilots, no flight crew, like nobody. Excuse me. And this is just one of those things where like they could, people have been telling them this could happen, and they've been lucky to avoid this every single time. They've been lucky to avoid anything crazy, but this is the one time it finally just snowballed out of control, and all their crews end up stuck on the East Coast. Like they can't even fly a plane out of there. That's how bad it is. Um, and so not only are the travelers stuck, the the crews and the pilots and the planes are stuck. So yeah, I mean, even if they do have planes that they can use on the West Coast, that's fine. But you don't have no pilots. So I think going from here, I think they're gonna have to update their system. They're getting investigated federally by the transportation committee in the House or Senate, one of the two. It's in Congress. Um, they're getting investigated by them, and it's not looking good for them. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. I do want to take this time to get to a more somber note. Um, Unfortunately, we had people pass away due to the storm in Buffalo. There's been countrywide about 60 deaths right now. We're at least 60 deaths, but like over half of that is from New York, like Western New York, Buffalo, New York. Over half of that. You had a young lady. She was just trying to get home after work. They didn't release her from work in time, which is ridiculous. They didn't release her from work in time, so she ended up getting stuck out there in the blizzard. And she sends her family. She's 22 years old. She sent her family this video. I'm not gonna play it. I watched it. I'm not gonna play it. Um, and she's basically showing them where she's at, and now she's stuck in the blizzard. And then eventually, they people were able to go out there and go to her, but it was too late. She had died of, ironically, carbon monoxide poisoning because the snow had piled up outside her vehicle so high, had piled up so high that it was blocking the exhaust pipe. Like you can't make that stuff up. You can't make that stuff up, and that's just a terrible way. That's a terrible way to go. All things considered, it's a really bad way to go. Um, I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's another gentleman. He was 58 years old. Okay, man was 58 years old. It's his birthday. I guess he went out for his birthday or whatever it was. He didn't get home on time. He's driving. He ends up stuck. He ends up waiting in his car for about 22 hours. Okay, 22 hours, and then he says, "Forget it. I'm gonna go on foot." All right. There's a separate video that there's this guy that's laying face down in the snow. Like, and I kind of thought it was a bit of a prank-ish type video, but it comes to find out it's the 58-year-old man who died on his birthday of hypothermia, trying to walk home. Like like that. That's unprecedented. And the thing is, like I heard somebody say it um um very in a local say it in a very like kind of plain way. They were like, I didn't think it would be this bad. I thought I'd be able to like go out, steal, you know what I'm saying? Because they're used to snow up there. They're honestly, they're used to it. They're used to snow. And for some odd reason, they they just, they didn't take it seriously. And yeah, there was a serious loss of life. Companies didn't take it seriously. We had employers making people work, trying to make people come into work. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's not like losing your life is not worth it. Losing any life is not worth it. To 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 open up for who? For who? Nobody's able to get to you. You know what I'm saying? And now there's people stuck at their jobs. You know, people are stuck at their jobs. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Um, yeah, and I want to advise people, do what you got to do for your life, okay? Because you can get another job. You can get another job, okay? You can get another job. You can go out another time. You can get whatever item you were trying to pick up. You can get that later. It's not worth your life, okay? Because once you're gone, you're gone. You're straight up, you're gone. You're gone. And I just want to let people know that um, to just take care of yourselves and really think about what's important to you. That's what I want you guys to do. I want you to think about what's important to you and how you feel about um, you know living another day. Put it very bluntly. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much everything that's going on in a nutshell. I mean, it's bad. Like 4 feet. There, Buffalo, New York is at 4 feet of snow, and I do want to give this caveat to how it gets this bad. So it gets this bad when you have lake snow effect. You have the lake snow effect. Basically, it's so cold that when the wind blows off the water or whatever, all the little water droplets just go up in the air and become snow immediately, just snow. So it's literally the wind is literally blowing across the lake. So you have the lake effect, and that's producing more snow. Then you have the snow coming down. Like you have snow off the lake, you have snow coming down, and so it starts to pile up really, 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 really fast. Um, and then you have that it's so cold that what I'm saying, any moisture that was out there, it's freezing. It's freezing. It's freezing to the ground, all that other good stuff. Um, and and before you know it, like I watched the TikTok around 8 a.m. it started to snow. Okay, it was whatever. By 5 p.m., by 5 p.m., it was so bad. I was like, I could not imagine being out there in that in 5 p.m. Like you're not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. Like only thing I experienced that was even similar to this is the ice storm back in like 98, 99 in Arkansas, where things was out for a week. But the thing is, it just was unprecedented levels of ice and nobody was ready for that. Nobody was ready. Nobody was ready for that. Like the meteorologist guy, he didn't say it was going to be that bad. Like everybody was roasting him because he was like, look, guys, I know. It's not an exact science. Like he was really just up there trying to defend himself. It's pretty funny looking back at it now, but like I was out of school for a week and like a week in what 2 days, a week and 2 days. I was out of school because nobody could go anywhere. Nobody's going anywhere. Thank God we had food. You know what I'm saying? Thank God my grandma had a gas stove. Yeah, so we were able to stay warm. Uh, yeah, we were able to stay warm, and we had plenty of clean clothes. So hey, everything's good. Everything was good. It was a good time. It was cool. It was cool. And you know what I'm saying? It was a nice bonding moment. Everybody was there as a family. It was really cool. Um, I can't believe I just said that we were stuck in the house for a week and it was really cool. Anyway, y'all let me know in the comment section down below. Um, what's your greatest like ice storm story? Like or snowstorm or being snowed in story. Like, what have you experienced? Those are my experiences, and yeah, thank y'all for watching. I will catch y'all next week on Wednesday. Next week on Wednesday with a new episode. If you get anything else, just know I love you. Okay, just know I love you.
Hey, if you're someone that craves vibes when it comes to music, like I do, then you need to check out Rose Petals. Rose Petals is a 12-track R&B album by yours truly, Vera Michelle, and it just dropped. It's available right now on all major digital outlets. I'm personally inviting you to come and vibe with me through music. Let me know what you think. Shout out to the home team, the Kosher Sound, and you already know we're supporting and watching Homeroom with Smooth. Let's